The Public Servants Association is calling for Police Minister Bheki Cele to fill vacant positions at 10,111 call centres. This week, Cele revealed that those call centres were in a state of crisis. PSA National Manager Claude Naicker joins us now for more. Good evening, Claude, and welcome to Full View. I imagine there's quite a big impact of not having those call centres manned. Share with our viewers what that is.
Yes, a very good evening. Thank you for having me. Yeah, it's come to a very critical stage now, and we've been addressing this problem since 2016 with the Minister of Police. But nothing has really improved over the last few years. It's come to a crisis situation now. We have reliably learned that in order to equip these units and for them to produce at full effective, you need in the region of 3,500 employees. Currently, they're operating at around 1,300 employees. So you can see there is a major problem.
Yeah.
And the Minister of Police also admitted that the number of drop calls at this unit is alarming. 40% of the calls are not answered to. And this surely has got to lead to say that capacity is a major problem at this unit.
Well, you're dealing with, and this is just my rough calculation, Claude, of a deficit of staff of, in the region of about 60%. And these are specialized people, one imagines, who needs to manage these call centers. There's a fair level of skill that you need to be able to take in emergency calls. Just share with our viewers as well the level of skill and human resource that is needed to do this job effectively.
Yes, you're quite right. I mean, it's got to be staff that are equipped, staff that are trained properly, especially in communication skills, because on the other end of the line, you probably get citizens that are in distress, citizens that are not able to articulate exactly what the emergency is, and they probably are trying to hide and speak or trying to get through the center in a very clandestine manner or a very discreet manner, if I may put it that way, for fear of not obviously losing their lives. So the operator or the employee on the other end of the line has got to deal with this in a very effective manner. Now, during the period of December, from what we've gathered from our members, these staff work in shifts. In other words, they work at 4 shifts on a 24-hour basis. In one instance, where it was required 126 staff should be at the call center, there were only 12. The reason for this is that most of these people were actually burnt out and could not attend to the calls. Some of them had to stay at home sick. Others simply could not cope with the overload of work and as a result could not attend work. So you can imagine the situation. If on a normal day, 40% of the calls are dropped during this period, during the festive season, during December, where obviously the volume of calls would be much higher, a number of calls that are dropped obviously dramatically increased as well. So a number of these calls have been left unattended. This obviously caused a problem. This leads to a problem where citizens of the country then lose all confidence in the SAPs. I mean, this has been an ongoing problem. They simply just do not trust this unit to try and assist them in emergency or in a crisis situation itself. So the PSA has called on the minister for the last 5 years to adequately try and equip this unit so that they can deal with the situation. I think...
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't sound, Claude, by what you're saying, as if anyone's listening, if this is a situation that has been flagged over the last 5 years, a situation that has been deteriorating to the point that it is right now with the serious deficit of staff and the vast majority, one imagines, of calls that are simply going unattended. Do you have any confidence in moves by the National Commissioner, General Fani Masemola, who's been requested now to, create this turnaround plan and provide it to the Parliamentary Portfolio Committee within a period of 30 days to show how this problem is going to be fixed? Are you convinced that the police and the police authority and management have this in hand?
Well, we always want to remain confident. We always want to remain positive that SAPS will do something urgently to try and resolve this problem. If they don't do, I think we're going to lose more staff, staff are obviously at its wit's ends now to say, listen, do I continue in this fashion, or do they seek alternative employment, which is going to create a much bigger crisis? The ministry has recently pointed out that the 10,000 recruits that they employed over the last month or two, some of them will be deployed to this 10-111. That's not the case. So how does one remain positive if what is coming out from the ministry is not obviously correct? So I think the ministry needs to stand up and take count. I don't think the public at large realizes the crisis that we are at this unit itself. So I think the PSA calls on the minister to take heed, and if you need the confidence in SAPS to improve, I think this is where you need to start. This unit is a critical unit to help those people that are out there in desperate need of help at times when they need somebody to talk to, somebody to assist them. That unit is there to assist.
I mean, just a final one, Claude, before I let you go. This is happening in a country where 1 in 5 women are experiencing physical violence by a partner. 10-111 for many people would be the first port of call. It would be the place they would go to for help. But as you're saying, in some cases, the majority of cases, you better not waste your time.
Well, if you take somebody that's in a remote area where there's no police station that's readily available, but you have a handset or a cell phone that you can talk to somebody and seek counseling or even seek assistance, because as I said, and you quite rightly pointed out, that the person on the other end needs to have the required skill and communication skills in order to assist. I'm sure that would go to some way to try and alleviate some of the problems. But if the first port of call where somebody doesn't answer the phone at all, then you're going to have a serious problem itself. It's going to exacerbate not only to citizens, but also to the employees that are working there as well.
Yeah.
Because these people are getting sick quite often because they cannot handle the pressure of the workload itself.
One can only imagine, Claude. Yeah, one can only imagine the stress that they themselves are under. Claude Naicker is the National Manager for the PSA. Thank you very much for talking to us.